Hey, welcome back to Twin Cities Live. Steve Patterson is filling in for a vacationing Ben Lieber today, and we've got another friend here.
This is just so fun. Like, the fun just keeps coming.
This is absolutely true. Today we're going beyond the scale with our friends at Livea, and this person is a voice that we think you're probably familiar with.
Dawn McClain, she co-hosts The Adventures of Bradley and Dawn on myTalk 107.1, and with the help of Livea Weight Control Centers, Dawn lost 30 pounds, and here's the real kicker, kept it off for 3 years. She is here now to tell us more about her journey. Dawn, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
Oh my gosh, you guys see each other every day because
Yes.
you're with Swappin' Studios.
Yes.
We get out of the studio, Bradley and Dawn come in. It's like
know.
ships passing in the night, but yeah, we see each other every day. This success that you've had with Livea, a lot of my talkers, they've heard you talk about it and really been impacted by it. You say some of the tips that they gave you really felt practical and empowering for you.
Yes. So before I was trying to do this on my own, I was counting calories, which is so tedious and fiddly. And it's just, you know, you do it at first and then you kind of fall off. So they taught me, like, just do a 1-to-1 ratio with like protein and carbs. And you don't have to sit there and calculate every single number.
Yeah.
They don't do that at Livea, and that's one of the first things that I learned from them.
Okay, that's really interesting. You also learned about the importance of support, so having some help, because you were talking about trying to do it on your own, and everybody sort of thinks like, oh, I know what to do.
Oh yeah, I thought I knew what to do, but then you're like, I really don't. And the support they give you is so great because they're registered dietitians and nutritionists, and so they know what they're talking about. And just to be accountable every week is so important to me. I need to think about doing that at the gym because I'm not accountable to anybody, and I'm just like, you know, kind of exercising here and there. But accountability is so important. You go in and they're not mean about it.
Right.
They're your friends, and they talk to you about, like, well, what was the struggle for you this week and what is your success? So it's a very supportive environment, and I think everybody needs that.
My sister did Livea, and that was her favorite part of the program, was the accountability. Because, you know, it's kind of like know thyself, right? So she's the kind of person who won't self-motivate, but if she knows that someone is keeping an eye on her and is going to check in, it does help to motivate you, maybe even particularly during some difficult days. Take us through that part of the journey, because it's not all mountain peaks, right? There's some valley to every journey. How do you get through those?
Well, I think that if you, not the calorie counting, but if you track what you're eating in the day, just write it down. Like, just write down chicken breast, broccoli, banana, and then if you have to write down Cheetos, it's harder.
Your hands start
You're
shaking.
like, oh, I didn't, okay, and then you think twice about, like, I don't know about that, you know. And so just doing that alone was also something that they taught me, like keeping a food journal, but don't stress yourself out about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's a little bit more mindful too. It's like you're less likely to just like grab a handful of something.
Totally.
If you're like, okay, then I'm gonna go and write it down. So how is hydration played in to this?
Oh, yeah, I think in the winter, you don't realize, especially in the winter, I always forget, like, you're very dehydrated because of the heating and just everything and getting in and out of the car and clothes. It's just like such a thing. We're in a mood right now, right?
Right.
No, but it's so important because a lot of times you might think you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty. So before you grab something, drink some water.
And see if your stomach is still howling at the moon, like feed the beast, because very often the appetite is like, oh, that sort of suppressed it, and now I'm good to move about the cabin.
And it'll give you energy. You know, I would recommend doing it twice as much as you do now and just see how you feel.
Just drinking a lot of water. I wonder too, I know there's something else that you love, which is sort of that awareness of the portions, that even when you think a food is healthy, and there's a lot of really great healthy foods out there, you could still be overeating it.
Yes. So Livea teaches you about portion control and what that really means, because if you look at online or wherever you're getting the information, they say, oh, it's, you know, this amount is about the size of your fist, and you're like, yeah, but, you know, my hands are big. They are pretty big. They're big. Look, I can play the piano. I've got
mash it down. How can I make my fist like the biggest on this plate?
So, you know, I actually use a food scale because during the lockdown times, I was doing some cooking and using recipes that were European, and I'm like, I need to weigh this food. So that's actually the best way to do it. And it's kind of fun when you see, like, oh, that's 19 ounces.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I could shave that off a little bit and it'll make a difference.
Well, plus I think then you know how much protein you're getting in too, which is always, it's so hard for women a lot of times, like not eating enough protein.
Right, exactly. And speaking of that, I found out that I wasn't eating enough when I started the Livea program. And I needed to eat more because my body was like holding on to everything I put into it. And so that was another thing I learned.
That's what the education does for you, right? It empowers you.
Definitely.
To move forward in some smart ways.
It's fun for our viewers to get to see you because they hear you
hear
and now they
all the
see you.
time.
We love it, Dawn. Fun to have you in our studio. So if you want more tips like the ones that Dawn got, an expert one-on-one support from a team of registered dietitians and nutritionists, you can call Livea Weight Control Centers. The number there is 1-855-GO-LIVEA or visit livea.com and they'd be happy to chat with you. They do a free consultation.